Lest we forget. Tyndall Air Force Base, Panama City, Florida, October 1974. It's the Aerospace Defense Command's Fighter Interceptor competition, the biennial William Tell. Sunday, open house, and pilots and people alike get to see a perfect performance by the Air Force Thunderbirds. The William Tell Weapons Meet is a supersonic sharpshooters competition between teams from Canada, the United States, and Pittsburgh. Lest we forget, it was here in 1963 that the little old guard team from Pittsburgh won it all, beat everybody, including the full-time regular Air Force. Pilots Lazowski, McGill, Meade, and team leader McCrory, and their fine maintenance crews and radar controllers set a world-beating precedent in 1963. And now, in 1974, pilots McKee, Rathbun, Westerhoff, and team leader Dick Law and their fine troops are here to match it. The trailers are well-organized maintenance facilities for each of the competition teams. And, as usual, the Canadians brought all the flags of all the provinces, and perhaps a flag or two from some provinces Americans never heard of from the looks of things. But overall, it's kind of a happy scene in many ways, since most of the competitors have been here before, including the air crews and the maintenance crews. In fact, it is a competition not without a sense of humor. For instance, I've been given a flight suit with appropriate markings on the sleeve, if you can read unskilled. And then as far as the F-102 is concerned, they've given me an appropriate patch for the other sleeve. 0 hours. The William Tell competition goes on until all flight crews have completed the 4 profiles. But the side stories, as they say in the press building, are the fun things. For gathered here are some of America's finest fighter pilots, and also some of America and Canada's greatest maintenance people. Their dedication and their peculiar skills are absolutely essential to our and Canada's and the world's security. Down on the line right now, they're arming the aircraft and getting ready to go for one of the profiles of the William Tell competition. What is a profile? Good question.
Locked onto the target, I had about a 1 knot overtake.
Profile 1. Almost 8 miles above the Earth, guided by ground radar and onboard computers, the pilot will attack the drone head-on with a missile. If he misses, he does a tight turn and re-attacks from the rear. Profile 2, high-low, 2 targets. A high drone first, same as in Profile 1. Then go low and find a towed target on the end of 5 miles of cable and attack it with a heat seeker. Profile 3, a scramble. 35,000 feet in a hurry with afterburner all the way. Then a rapid climb to 43,000 feet and attack the drone head-on with an AIM-26B. This is one of the targets that all the competitors shoot at in various ways. This particular designation is a BQM-34A. It is, as you look at it, a little jet airplane made by Ryan Aeronautical Corporation. It's a drone, and it has several rather interesting features. The top is loaded with a parachute, so that when it runs out of fuel or by command from the ground, the parachute deploys and it floats safely, probably down to a water landing. But the beautiful thing about these is the capability of being a target that can be used for a missile that finds its target by radar, or for a missile that finds its target by seeking heat. And here is the actual piece of a tail of a Firebee drone that was shot down the first one in the 1974 William Tell competition. As you see, it's slightly damaged, the top part is missing, and there are some pieces sticking out. They found it 3 days after it was actually shot down when they were looking for another Firebee drone. Question, who shot it down? Answer, our guys. Major Dick Westerhoff shot this first one for the 74 William Tell competition. There is some question as to whether or not we are allowed to take it home. However, might be an answer to that right now. Bye. A. Rathbun, Senior Industrial Engineer with the United States Steel. Richard V. Westerhoff is a patent attorney, an MIT grad in electrical engineering, got his law degree from Pitt. Richard O. Law, commander of the 146th Fighter Interceptor Squadron, which is the name for the 112th Group's runway team. That's Major Jerry McKee. He's a full-time flight training instructor and flight examiner for the Air Guard. This time, his missile fires. The successor to the F-102 is the F-106, built by the same company, Convair. It's bigger, faster, more sophisticated. Captain Steve Damon took me for a ride in this great bird, and I saw what would happen to an enemy foolish enough to plan a supersonic Pearl Harbor. Dear potential invader of the North American continent, don't try it. And this is the moment. These F-102s are now on their way to be converted to target drones with a black box put in instead of a pilot. They'll be taken to Florida and converted. And when these fellas land and these birds are on the ground in Florida, they never again will be flown by a live pilot. what are you going to do for some F-102s? You're suddenly out of that business. What are you